Hello everyone. In this video I will be responding to some comments and questions. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for a lot of things in my life, but most of all I am very thankful that I have a real chance of living forever. Here we go. Is it okay to get vitamin D from sunlight? Well, from all the research I've done, I'm afraid of the sun. So I'm not a sun person. The sun really does damage our skin and it ages us. You know, the ultraviolet radiation from the sun. That's a real concern. So I get my vitamin D from a vitamin D supplement from sheep lanolin. Now, when it comes to vitamin D, when you're supplementing with vitamin D, it's very important that you also supplement with vitamin K2. Because if you only supplement with vitamin D, and you don't have enough K2, the vitamin D will actually increase the calcification of your arteries. Because vitamin D increases the absorption of calcium, and vitamin K2 makes sure that the calcium gets into the bones as opposed to the soft tissues of the body, you know, like the arteries. So you have to supplement with vitamin K2 if you're going to be supplementing with vitamin D. I can make a whole video on vitamin K2 in itself. It's a very, very great supplement if you're going to supplement with anything. But yeah, I'm not a sun person. I avoid the sun.
I follow the night, can't stand the light.
Next we have a comment. I don't think celibacy is the answer. So this was a response to my first episode of Forever News. At the very least, we know that celibacy is the answer to not getting an STD. That's for sure. So that's one benefit of celibacy that is irrefutable. And speaking of STDs, check this out. Very interesting statistic I came across recently. 1 in 4 U.S. teenage girls have STDs, study finds. So this is just very concerning. When it comes to, sex, make sure you do not get an STD. This is top priority. A lot of these STDs can literally be deadly. STDs that they think are not deadly, we don't know. They might actually kill you from some disease later on. They've already linked herpes to Alzheimer's. So just be very careful, that's all I'm saying. Do not get an STD because it literally might be lethal. And, there might be STDs that our science doesn't even know about yet. There are STDs that maybe we can't even test for yet. So just be very cautious. All right, the next question is, are you aware that doctors kill more people than guns? Actually, no, I wasn't aware of that, but that's really interesting, and I am definitely one of those people that's afraid of doctors. I think this is what they call iatrogenic disease. So doctors actually kill a lot of people. A lot of the deaths are, accidental, but doctors overprescribe something or they diagnose something wrong and they kill their patients. So that's a huge concern. We should all be very wary of doctors and be very careful because doctors literally could kill you. Do anything you can to just not go into the hospital to begin with. Now, obviously, if you have to go to the doctor for something, do it. But try to live a life that's so safe and so cautious that you don't ever have to go to a doctor, that you don't have to go to a hospital. Because right now, our medical care system is very primitive. It's very, very primitive.
Remember, George didn't have a heart attack.
No, that's good.
I have to have my tonsils taken out.
Oh, man. No. George, we got to get you out of here. Get out right now. They'll kill you in here.
Hopefully, we'll have better medicine in the future that's more personalized and a lot more advanced. But right now, what we have is very archaic. And people do die of mistakes. The next comment, Rowan, what's up with all the Nazis in the comment section? Okay, so this is a comment on one of my roommate's videos where he was judging Evalion. And Evalion was this Nazi girl on YouTube. And so from that video he made, I guess he upset some Hitler Nazi people. We seem to have gained some Nazi haters on this channel. Apparently they didn't like what I had to say. They didn't like what my roommate had to say about Hitler, about Nazis, and so yeah, we've attracted some haters. But what I'm guessing what upset them was this clip I'm about to show you, where my roommate was saying good things about Schindler, and I don't think Nazis like Schindler very much. And this is why I want to be like Schindler. That's one of my life goals, to be like Schindler. Save lives. Schindler saved freaking Jews. He saved life because he saw past race. See, this is why Schindler understood it, because it's not about race. It's about the preciousness of a human life. So final comment on this issue is that, if we're upsetting Nazis, that's probably a good thing. Like Devin Tracy. He recently made a lot of enemies of Nazis on his channel because he was criticizing them. If we're offending the Nazis, that's probably a good thing. I'm going to take that as a good sign that we're on the right track. All right, next I have this question on Tumblr. Hi, sometimes I watch your videos. You often speak about the positive side of fear. You say that fear is your superpower and it helps you survive. Does fear ever have any negative effects on you? Hope you answer back. Thanks. Okay, so yeah, I do talk about the positive side of fear a lot. Fear, for me, is mostly positive. Now, what I want to say about fear, what I think is important to say, is that fear can paralyze you or it can motivate you to act. So when I talk about fear, I'm talking about the positive kind of fear that will cause us to act in wise ways that's going to help us live forever. On the flip side of this, you can be so afraid that you don't do anything. You're paralyzed, and that's not going to help you. That's not going to help your chances of living forever. So you don't want a paralyzing kind of fear. It's also about what you're fearing. Fearing death is good, but fearing what other people think about you could cause problems. If I cared so much about what people thought of me, I could have been so afraid of what people think that I never even made this YouTube channel. So fear can prevent you from doing good things.
I just feel like there are so many things that I could be doing and probably want to be doing that I'm just not.
Why aren't you?
I mean, I guess it's just being afraid of what people would think, judgment.
Yeah.
Fearing what other people think about you can also prevent you from being honest and judging people, which I think are super important. It's so important to judge people. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be doing in this world. We're supposed to be judging people. That's a big part of what life's about, because by judging other people, that's how you're going to get good at judging yourself. It's like practice for judging yourself. And when you judge other people, it forces you to look in the mirror and judge yourself. Make sure you're not guilty of the very same things that you're judging other people for. You know what I mean? So you're not being a hypocrite. Nobody wants to be a hypocrite. So judging other people is going to help you improve yourself. So the flip side of fear that's important is courage. Courage is important. It takes courage to even try to live forever in a world where everyone's saying that it's impossible to live forever. And, it takes courage to go against the grain of society and whatever everyone is. If you're always fearing what other people think of you, then, fear of what others think of you could cause you to conform to peer pressure, and this could lead you to make bad choices for your eternal life. If you're afraid of what everyone thinks of you, you might just go with the flow of your peer group, and they're doing bad things, and that could get you into trouble.
Well,
Go kiss the guy in the audience. It would knock him out. forehead.
I can't. He's not firm enough.
I like that. She said, I can't. A lot of people would cave into the pressure and say, oh, all right. They'd go out and kiss him and get it over with.
Yeah, well, I've never succumbed to peer pressure.
Good for you. That's what we love about you, Madonna.
Yes.
So when it comes to like a negative aspect of fear, one thing that comes to my mind is the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz. You know, there's a big difference between the kind of fear I'm talking about and the kind of fear that that Cowardly Lion had, where he's just this mess. His fear is holding him back from doing what he needs to do. His fear is a paralyzing fear. It blocks him from doing good things. So what we need is a good type of fear, a fear that causes us to act wisely, not a paralyzing fear that, won't help us at all. We need a fear that's going to help us live forever, a fear that helps us survive. That's what I think is most important about fear. Now listen to this clip of Angelina Jolie talking about a helpful, good type of fear.
It's also risky.
Is it? I mean, I think what's risky is living your life and never trying for anything and never doing something brave and never getting yourself scared. And
Are you scared?
in a good way.
That's what I'm talking about. Next, we have another question. Transhumanism is a joke, and you will never live forever. How does he know that? How does he know the future? That's my first thing here. He's saying I will never live forever. What, does he see the future? No, he does not see the future. So that's bullcrap, claiming that I'm never going to live forever. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know the future.
So you can see the future?
Yeah, I can see the future.
How about that, huh? Did you see that coming?
He's not a fortune teller. So he says, stop trying to play God. Death is natural anyways. Why don't you grow up and accept reality? Well, first of all, why should we care what's natural? What's natural doesn't dictate what is good. Okay? Something can be good and be completely unnatural. A lot of the medicines and the technology that humanity has invented, that wouldn't be really in the realm of what's natural, but it's still good. It's helping us. Is it natural that we create airplanes and fly around? I mean, what's natural isn't really my concern. What's good is my concern. And what's good is what's going to help us live forever. That's what's good. And as far as trying to play God, playing God is not a problem for me.
You've been playing God for long enough.
Look, I'm an atheist, so the human race should be trying to play God. I mean, we're in a lot of trouble with aging, with death, with all these entropy, with these problems in the world. Trying to play God is just about trying to live forever. That's a good thing. So we should be manipulating the natural world in whatever way we can that's going to increase our chances of living forever. Why is that a problem? Lastly, he says, why don't you grow up and accept reality? Well, look, the reality is that living forever is possible. It's possible because nobody knows the future and the technology is advancing quickly. And who's to say what the future is going to look like? Who's to say that we're not going to cure aging tomorrow? It could happen any day. So we don't know.
There's really no way of knowing.
And, they said transhumanism is a joke. Well, I'll tell you what is a joke. Your life is a joke if you die. What's the point of your life if you don't live forever? Okay, you're just going to be rotting in the ground. Everything you accomplished in life is going to be gone. It's not going to be helping you if you're dead. It doesn't matter what you accomplished in life. It's all just a meaningless joke if you don't live forever. If you eventually die, then nothing mattered. So this person is a fatalist, okay? These fatalists who think that living forever is impossible, it reminds me of the people who thought it was impossible for Trump to be president.
I mean, Trump's not going to win.
They thought it was an absurd notion that Trump would be president.
And I don't think he'll end up being president of the United States.
Okay, here we are. And which Republican candidate has the best chance of winning the general election?
Of the declared ones, right now, Donald Trump. Especially like
what about of all of them? I mean, Scott
fake
Walker.
Laughter from the audience.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Okay, like people think living forever is an absurd notion. So there's a parallel there.
Well, I think that every person on this earth is going to die, and I think that eventually the entire human race will become extinct. I mean, our destruction is inevitable no matter what.
They were wrong about Trump. Well, they might be wrong about indefinite life extension. People are wrong all the time about these sort of things. And the last comment here is, life has meaning because it doesn't last forever. If we lived forever, we would eventually get bored. What? Life has meaning because it doesn't last forever? How do you figure that? That makes no sense at all. So you're saying death makes life meaningful. That doesn't make sense.
They tend to say death has a meaning, it gives life meaning. That's the obvious.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I mean, of course, the way I see this is very much the same as the sociological excuses like, oh, won't dictators live forever? You know, again, they are just trumped up ideas to try to pretend that aging is a blessing in disguise. But in fact, there is absolutely no logical basis for the idea that death gives meaning to life. It makes no sense at all.
And as far as you being bored if you were to live forever, I'm sorry, but that's just tragically pathetic. Life is special enough, it's interesting enough, that you really shouldn't get bored.
What are you doing? I'm bored. Go bang your head against the wall. Mom. Only boring people are bored.
Life is fun. You're underappreciating life. You're undervaluing life. Words cannot say how valuable life is. You understand? Eternal life is a priceless treasure. If you don't understand that, then you don't get it. There's nothing more important than living forever. And it is possible. So, that's the good news. The bad news is that living forever is a very hard goal. But it's a possible goal, and that's why we just need to try very, 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 very hard. And if we don't try hard, we're probably going to fail. So, that's all I have to say in this video. Thank you guys for watching. Check the description for some cool videos that I recommend. And thank you for watching.